Hey crafty friends, this is Julissa of Paper Gems by Jules, and today I'm creating clouds with a heart die, specifically the Dashes and Frills Hearts die set by Unity Stamp Company. So I die cut this heart and then I just use it as you would like a cloud stencil. It's a great way to have a multi-purpose for some of the dies that you have, but I thought I was kind of given like a little Valentine vibe and wanted to use this heart, but like in an untraditional way. So the color I used to create the background was Saltwater Taffy, which is a kind of like a corally pink color, and I wanted to kind of keep that vibe when I colored the images. And the images are from Sending Up Something Beautiful, again by Unity Stamp Company. Such a sweet collection of stamps. I love the variety in the sentiments because this is great for just an I love you card, thinking of you card, a baby shower or new birth, just happy birthday. Like this is just a fun little festive image. So I'm starting with some Copics using the R14, R22, and R21 colors to give the same coral pink vibe that Saltwater Taffy gives you. Was it Saltwater Taffy? Yes, Saltwater Taffy. Sorry, brain fart. And I also made sure to use a Copic friendly ink to stamp this originally using my Misti. And now I wasn't 100% sure what color to do the hot air balloon, but I figured white and coral will match the background. It'll keep it simple. So in order to create that white look, I'm using some cool grays, and I'm underlining one side of the banners on here just to give that shadow effect, even though there's no sun on this card. So I start with a C2 marker. I'm also using this to create some depth with the clouds as well. And then I'll go back in with the next C color, which is going to be C0. Sorry, my lineup when I'm doing a video was a little messy, so you don't see it, but that's a C0. So I'm doing in a little more shadowing on this, mainly on the left side. Again, you don't have to do specific like where the light comes in, especially if you're not going to have a sunshine. It doesn't matter. Just go with the flow and do what you love. And last, I'm using a 0 to blend the colors in better and just keep it light when I'm bringing this all together. So I'll do this on the balloon as well as the clouds. How cute is this? Now this is also cute if you do different colors. You can do a ton of clouds. There's a really fun, and I can't think of the name and I apologize, but I'll probably put it in the comments below. There's a really cute background of clouds with like plaid and different things, and it's really fun, and that's a nice one to pair up with this Sending Up Something Beautiful stamp set. All right, so now for the basket. I could have done brown, but I kind of wanted to keep with the vibe that's in my head of just like the whites, grays, and this nice coral color. So I used a C6 and C4 to do that. Now here's where I get really wild and risky. I'm going back in with a VersaFine Clair. And what I like to do is restamp this. Now it's so important to make sure that you use a corner and you keep it in the right spot, because you can ruin your coloring, especially if you did a lot of coloring. But this creates like really dark black lines. I love the look of it, but they're not, the VersaFine Clair is not Copic friendly. So this is kind of my little secret tip to get that bold black look and still be able to use your Copics. But once you stamp this, you don't want to go back in with your Copics. You can ruin them. Not ruin them, but you might ruin the nib, and you can replace that. So it's not the end of the world, but why do that? Why create that mess? So that's my little tip, in addition to using your heart stencil, your faux stencil. But I like to use the VersaFine Clair, and you can even use VersaFine, and if you wanted to do like a clear heat emboss to create like a nice shiny outline to your images, you can do that too. That's another option. But I just like the simple black bold lining on these stamped images. It just gives another vibe. But I also, you know, you can do the no line coloring, which I find that so amazing the way it looks. I just haven't tried it, but maybe this is a little friendly reminder to give it a shot. All right, you're just watching fussy cutting, and this is sped up, so it's a lot less boring, but it's still kind of lengthy and boring. Some people really like to use the scan and cut machine, which I think is awesome, but to me it's gotten a little risky. Maybe it's mine. Maybe I need to reassess it, or what's it, recalculate? I can't think of the word. I'm sure somebody will put it in the comments. Recalibrate. Calibrate? Yeah. Okay. That. I might need to do that to mine. Because it's gotten offset and it's not even. So I've just gotten back into this, and I do have some pains in my joints and my hands, and I always fear the day that I can't do this. So I think I'm just kind of conditioning myself to like, hey, push through. You got this. You can do it. And look, I did it. Okay, now I did it. All right, so these pieces are done. This is kind of a rough draft of where it's going to lay out. So I'm laying it on here just to see where things land, see where things might fit. I feel like I should have put a third cloud in there, but oh, it's fine. We'll live. It's handmade, right? Not Hallmark. So I'm putting everything back in the Misti, and this is just so I can figure out where to put the sentiment neatly. I know I just said that it's handmade and not Hallmark, but in my head, I kind of want things to be a little close to perfect sometimes. So I want to line up the sentiments. Being that it's red rubber, you can't really see where things are, even though the stamps are pretty cut wells close to the, so you do get an idea. But I love that the Misti has a grid in the top wall, so that's super helpful. But I also have this really cool thicker plastic thing from Tailored Expressions that I lay over, and you could do this with any sort of clear thing, but this one has a grid on it that doesn't wipe off, and so I put that on over the image of what I'm going to stamp, and then I stamp over on that, so that way I can see if it lines up neatly, if it's straight lined using the grids, and then I'll remove that and stamp, as you saw already. So kind of behind, but that's what just happened. All right, so now I'm gonna adhere the hot air balloon and the clouds, but we all need a little dimension. Let's pop these suckers up. So I've got these fun black foam tapes. I probably should have used the white ones, but that's what I had on hand, so that's what I'm using. I've got the bigger ones, and then I got the little ones. I normally like to use the thin ones just because it's easier to go through the mail. But this is fun. This needed some air. It's a hot air balloon and they're in the sky. So let's lift it up. Sorry, I'm going to lay these out. Just putting these on there. So in the meantime, I'll ask you, if you don't mind, click the subscribe button while we watch me put this together. I'd love to hear from you if you have requests, if you have questions. That's my dog sneezing, so bless you. If you have ideas that you'd like me to try, feel free to post in the comments any questions that you might have. I'd love to hear from you guys. I know I do this for everyone, not just me. I learn from you, and I'd love for you to learn from me. So this is the final card. Again, I used my Unity dies as well to create the outline, and I hope that you enjoyed multi-purpose card making. Have a great day.